once again, I tried to debate whether to talk about this or not. Because once again, it's like with the Kenny King thing. So many people said, oh, fuck. You really eviscerated that guy, but I didn't know who the fuck you were talking about. And so I'm giving him publicity and I'm telling people who he is. But unfortunately now, who he is, like he's Joey Ryan, a professional wrestler. They know him as the wrestler that did the dick spot. They won't ever really see him again unless he does another dick spot that goes viral. And the second dick spot, as we know, never goes viral. Isn't that a rule?
It might very well be. I don't follow these things as much as I guess I need to. Yeah. So did you see the video itself, or did you just hear about it? Because I watched the video
after the fact. Because here's the thing. It's the problem. People were saying, did you see the dick spot? And I didn't want to because I knew it would make me mad. So I said, no, I didn't see the dick spot. And somebody tweeted a picture, not the video, but a picture. And actually, since not knowing what the dick spot was, it looked like that he was fucking the guy in the ear. I didn't know the guy had clawed his dick. He was standing over him, and his big smile, and the guy was grimacing down sideways, and I didn't see the hand, so it looked like he was fucking him in the ear, right? Mm-hmm. So I said, no, I didn't see the dick spot. I don't want to, but it looks like Joey Ryan enjoys having his dick in another guy's face or whatever the fuck, which was, I thought, an observation, not an indictment or a fucking condemnation. But then, of course, then he gets all of his fanboys to write, oh, you homophobic piece of shit. Well, no, like I said, it was just an observation, which obfuscated the actual meaning of the whole thing, which is this stupid motherfucker, this fucking lowlife piece of shit who wipes his fucking feet on the goddamn wrestling business to get the only kind of publicity he can get, which is cheap publicity as some fucking phony, sleazy looking wrestler that does wild, incredible things.
And there are already like 2 or 3 T-shirts made about this particular incident, and they're selling like hotcakes.
Of course they are. Selling like, of course, hotcakes aren't that popular anymore. But anyway, what he did was the wrestler gets a claw on Joey Ryan's dick, and then Joey Ryan strains like he's trying to take a shit and wins the test of strength. The guy goes to his knees and grimaces, and then Joey Ryan gives a big ooh, and the guy takes a big flip bump. The dick had flipped him off, right? And it just, once again, is so phony and so embarrassing. Underneath, preliminary wrestlers like that are never going to work for big companies or be in main event positions or be stars, actually. So they try to do anything that they can do to get noticed. I understand that. They try to do the big dives or the crazy bumps or the outlandish gimmicks or whatever. But when a guy does something like that, not even trying to make something look legitimate, something that's just about a half a step away from wrestling the fucking Invisible Man, right? Something that embarrasses the business, disrespects people in it, past and present, makes it harder to get people to take it seriously enough, spend money on it. It hurts the legitimate talent in the business, so one outlaw fucking clown can be known as the wrestler that did the dick spot. That's why I'm offended. That's why I'm fucking offended. And once again, opinion was divided on this, Alice. If you can believe it. Okay, I understand the fucking issue we just debated. But the opinion was divided on this between the adults, basically, and the children that don't get it. But some of my favorite comments, I will mention, Mark James said to me in person, he said he should be shot with a dull bullet. Dr. Tom Pritchard said it was a sad day for the wrestling business. Various Twitter comments that I jotted down here somewhere. A complete embarrassment, utterly fucking stupid, blasphemy. And Joey Ryan's picture is what the police use for online escort bus. But a couple of people. And I know, and you can tell they're the ones with they got their picture is an egg, or they have 4 followers, or they've got 79,000 tweets and they're following 82,000 people, but they've only, got 6 followers or whatever. But one guy said, why are you upset? The most positive mainstream coverage wrestling has had in years. Positive mainstream coverage from the coverage was, look how silly and phony that shit's gotten. That was the fucking positive coverage. And one guy said, relax, let people enjoy whatever kind of wrestling that they like. Variety is good, right? Kind of wrestling. Let me ask the children out there in my mostly adult audience, are we so far fucking removed from what this shit was, what it was invented to be, what it is meant to be, what gave it a reason to exist in the first place, that what this fucking piece of shit Joey Ryan did is now a kind of fucking wrestling? And more importantly, to you people who somehow don't see anything wrong with this, it's like watching people sodomize a fucking puppy dog on the side of the road, and people are just walking by like there's nothing wrong with this. Why do you think that this shit is somehow popular? You keep saying, well, it's because this kind of wrestling is popular now. Why do you say that these people are making money doing this? Why? Because they're not. And it's like I live in a bizarro world where somehow it's me ranting against something that's acceptable and successful. Now that the network is showing Mid-South Wrestling and Crockett and World Class and whatever, go back and look at the crowds and see how much more excited they were 30 years ago. Look at the size of the crowds. TV tapings at high school gyms in the 80s drawing a couple of thousand people. Arena shows drawing tens of thousands of people. The wrestlers were making more money than anybody now except for some of the WWE guys. The TV ratings were 10 times what they are now. The number of promotions, live events, spot shows, multiple times more than now. Every indicator of business was time and again better than when they presented the fucking shit as serious instead of as a fucking comedy bus with dick spots and super kicking 8-year-olds and fucking women beating up men. So, you fucking Einsteins, you simpletons out there, look at the facts. Look at the figures. Look at what I have personally eyewitnessed in almost 40 years of working in this business at a high level. And then you explain to me, you bunch of Stephen fucking Hawkings with your 4 followers and a picture of an egg, what's right and what's wrong with your variety in fucking wrestling. And preliminary wrestlers that piss all over my profession in front of people can kiss my fucking dick. And see, I'm not homophobic. After all about that, because I'm welcoming them to kiss my fucking dick. Joey Ryan, you fucking idiot. If you'd have walked in a goddamn locker room 30 years ago after you'd done something like that, they would have had to identify you by your dental records by the time that the fucking boys got finished with you. I don't even know what to say why that people think that this was somehow something that was acceptable. We've given the Joker some publicity, but you can't, I mean, obviously, once again, it already got publicity, more bad publicity for people who, for people who want to be serious and want to be stars and want to have an industry where they can be stars and make money in, and somebody is somehow spending some money on it somewhere, and it has some credibility, it is treated in some way as something enough to emotionally invest in, and then these jack-off asswipes who can't get attention any other way just drop their pants and fucking wiggle their dick on the playground. And fuck you. and you know, and I'll be honest, you know, the Young Bucks, I like those kids as kids. They do stupid shit like super kicking the fucking 8-year-old, but they're nice kids. But this fucking asshole, and he's not even a good athlete, and like the Bucks are great athletes. They do shit that they shouldn't do because it exposes the business, that anybody could live through it and everything. But at least it takes talent to do that shit. This guy didn't even have any fucking talent. So it's easy for me to fucking tell people what a dick he is, but no pun intended. But it's a shame. It is a fucking shame that people like this are letting the business these days just because of what's happened to it. And it's a shame that a lot of guys will not get a chance to make a lot of money and be stars because it's so much smaller, the business, than it used to be, and so much less successful. And it's going to continue to be that way because now there's no going back from shit like this. You can never make anybody take anything seriously in wrestling enough again to get anybody over more than Vince's sports entertainment fans that'll flock to WrestleMania, and you get 5,000 people to a house show once or twice a year.